Bianca, and I'm back. And I know it's been a while. I know my last video was a while ago, probably about a year, and I do sincerely apologize. But I did want to come and tell you guys that I graduated and your girl is a RN. Woo! So thank you to everybody who's been on this journey with me. What is it? It's been about 6 years since I posted my first video, and you guys saw me come in from, you know, with the degree, enlisted, to, you know, all the way up until hopefully next week I'll be commissioning. And yeah, so your girl is an RN. My last video was a year ago, and it was like, I think it was my last semester, my first year of nursing school video. And of course, in a perfect world, I wanted to have a video every semester telling you guys about, you know, my struggles or what I did good in and what I didn't do good in. However, it did not work out that way, and I do apologize for that. But your girl had to pass, okay? So thank you for everybody who's reached out to me on my Instagram or Facebook, you know, just saying, you know, thank you for the inspiration, or asking me to post another video. I swear in my head, I was going, every time I say I'm gonna post another video, I'm not gonna post another video, it never works. And then I made a video, but it just wouldn't upload to YouTube on my cell phone. But I'm back, I have a new camera, and I'm hoping to make this a little bit more professional. So, so I just wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit about, since I talked to you about the first year of nursing school, I want to talk to you about the second year of nursing school, which was my last year, and just give you some nursing school tips. So here we go. All right, so my biggest advice for anybody that's going into their senior year of nursing school, if I can go back, I would have gotten a review course. So I know if you guys heard of Hearst Review or Kaplan or UWorld, in my opinion, I would have probably have gotten Hearst Review at the beginning of my senior year, because Hearst Review, they do a really good job with breaking down the core content. So for this last year of nursing school, you're going to go into your advanced med-surg class, and med-surg 1, which was my junior year, was hard. It was a lot of information. So med-surg 2 is kind of like critical care. So yeah, it was pretty tough. Let's just say, by the grace of God, your girl got through. And but nonetheless, I would get a Hearst Review. It costs about, it's a little costly, about $300, but usually people get Hearst Review when they're getting ready to prep for their NCLEX. However, which is what I got when I prepped for my NCLEX, but we'll get into that later. But if I would have known, I would have probably did Hearst Review before my senior year, maybe the summer before my senior year, just to kind of give me like a good foundation. And they do really good mnemonics and, you know, how to remember things and stuff like that. So I would get a Hearst Review before your senior year. My personal opinion, you don't have to take it, but if I can do it over again, I probably would have got a Hearst Review before my senior year started. And I think I would have been a little bit, you know, it would have been a little bit better. If you don't know something, please ask questions. So at my school, I went to the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, like you guys know. Each teacher, and that's probably at any school, each teacher teach different, you know. So one semester, you know, we may have had teachers that just posted, or just, you know, put answers or questions from PowerPoints on the test. Well, then the next semester you may have a teacher that actually wants you to read the book. Now, I know it sounds crazy. Yeah, you're in nursing school, read the book, right? But when I was, you know, at my old base, some of the nurses told me, read the PowerPoints. And I was the same way. I was like, why, you know, this is nursing school, shouldn't you be reading a book? Well, the books are this, you know, you have a med-surg book that's this big. You have books. Okay. Some teachers, depending on where you go, will, you know, kind of teach you what they feel like you need to know. And it'll be like in the PowerPoint. However, excuse me, I have to charge my phone. However, and then when you have your test, you know, it's like, okay, that was in the PowerPoint. However, some teachers will teach you, they want you to read the blueprint, little fine print like this big, in the book. and you're like, what the heck, you know? So I think that kind of messed a lot of students up, not knowing, you know, well, should I read the PowerPoint or should I read the book? Sometimes they want you to do both. I mean, it may seem like a lot, but at the same time, if you want to get through it, you're going to do the PowerPoints in the book. So if you don't understand something, just ask questions. There's no dumb question. This is not just a nursing school. You guys know I'll preach about life and go off into a whole ramble, but this is about anything. There's no dumb question. If you don't understand something, okay, ask. Because, and if they can't, you know, explain it or whatever, then you ask somebody else and you try to get references. So that is one of the biggest things I would say. You know, if you don't understand something in nursing school, ask. And note cards, highlighters, and pens. It wasn't just me. Probably almost majority of the nursing students that I know had stacks of note cards for different classes. You had different color pens, different highlighters, whatever I thought was going to help me get it. That's what I did. So I went to the dollar store, I went to Walmart, and I just packed on highlighters, pens, different colors. I'll write different colors, green over here, some red over here. Okay, hopefully I got it, and it worked for me. So you have to do kind of what works for you. You know, you can take different people's study tips. You can, you know, and just stick to what you know. But I can personally say my first degree, which was at the University of South Carolina, go Gamecocks, which was my mass comm degree, I personally did not use this many highlighters, pens. I think I have about 2,000 note cards somewhere around my house. Like, they're all over the place. Nursing school is a different ball game, especially your senior year, because now you done went through your first year and you're like, oh, now I'm a senior, you know, now it's overdrive. Okay, so highlighters, pens, note cards, get through it. And like I was talking about Med-Surg Advanced. Med-Surg Advanced is basically like critical care. Whatever you learned in your junior year of Med-Surg is going to be your senior year of Med-Surg, but in depth. It's like ICU type of stuff. And like I said, different schools may do it different, but I just know for our school, Med-Surg Advanced was like different, you know, like ICU. And, you know, some teachers may expect you to know more than what you know. Like, for example, you may have, you know, a teacher that may like think that everybody in the class know pathophys or something like that. I didn't take pathophys, but that's not an excuse not to know it. So if we're talking about diseases of the kidneys or diseases of the heart or the GI system, I personally may not have I didn't take pathophys. So, you know, when you're talking about the kidneys do this and that and the urine, I'm like, okay, what? You know, I have to go back to, you know, A&P, which I took 2 years ago. But YouTube helps. What is it, Sarah RN? If you guys look up Sarah RN, she's really good at like breaking stuff down. Just if you just YouTube anything, and that's why I say the HERS review, if you get that before you take this class, yeah, it's $300, but invest in not only you're prepping for the NCLEX early, but you're also prepping, you're trying to pass this class. And there's no point of, you know, you need to pass this class in order for it to take the NCLEX, so why not do both? So that's what I would do personally. But yeah, if you don't know about the kidneys, how are you going to know about different diseases that the kidneys, you know, that you can get in your kidneys? So that's one thing. Make sure you know your pathophys. And if you don't know it, please do not freak out and be like, oh my God, I'm going to fail nursing school my senior year because I don't know pathophys. You're not, you know, my biggest thing is I had to take time out and get to know the pathophysiology of different systems. Once you know the patho, then you can kind of like say, okay, I understand, you know, how this can occur. Some people may not have did that, and it kind of, you know, you can't blame the teacher. You can't blame the teacher for not knowing something. You know, you have to, at the end of the day, you can blame the teacher all you want to, but that's not going to make you pass. Especially if you have a teacher that really is like to the book, like no. So, you know, if you don't know something, ask questions. Get tutoring, note cards, pens, highlighters. I would say, like I say, the HERS review. And that's kind of like a wrap-up summary of like nursing, senior year of nursing. Your last year is really one of the hardest classes is going to be that advanced med-surg. So that's why this first 10 minutes of this video is talking about how to get your mind right for med-surg advanced. So yeah, that's what I would say. Ask questions. Yeah, so let's move right along. All right, so clinical placement. Oh gosh. So not only are you taking Med-Surg Advanced, which is a very hard class, you are also working about, depending on your placement for clinicals, about 12 hours, 13 hours, depend, give or take, you know, whatever your nurse preceptor work, you're working that shift too for free. Ding, ding, ding. But you're getting the knowledge, you're getting the experience, so it's cool, you know. But, you know, let's just say, I'm giving a preceptor warning. Just make sure you guys are, you know, if you have any issues with your preceptor that you get assigned to, you know, if you're not really feeling the area, and it's not because, oh, it's hard work, I don't want to do it. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about serious issues. Like if you're having issues with preceptors, which a preceptor is your nurse, that's like you're working with this nurse as a student. You know, teacher around, you know, junior year clinicals, you had teachers that were instructors that were like kind of on the floor with you, you know. Well, now in senior year, you are the student nurse, you're the baby nurse, and you're only with this nurse. So it's really good that you have a good, I would say, you and your preceptor don't have to be besties. Like, I'm not really a firm believer in like being two bestie friends anyway, like with you know, when it's supposed to be professional. That's just me. But it's okay to be, you know, let your hair down a little bit, but you don't have to be best friends with your preceptor, but just make sure that you have somebody who's willing to teach you, that's positive, that's not, you know, if you're supposed to be learning, but then there's like drama that you don't really need to be involved in because you are the student, you're here to learn, you're here to get your hours, you're here to pass, then you need to let your teachers know and go from there. This is just my personal experience. Do not sit in something thinking that it's going to be okay. Oh, you know, because I'm a tough girl. So it's just like, and I'm also in the military. You guys know that. So I just kind of roll with the punches. Sometimes it's with this Med-Surg Advanced class and trying to graduate and being already stressed out because, you know, you have a quiz every week. At my school, we had a quiz every week. And yeah, it can be 1,000 slides. It can be about 100 and something slides, if not 200 slides, and you have 10 questions. So every week it sounds like, oh, a quiz every week, that's not bad. You'll see. It's for all those that, I don't know if your school is like mine, but a quiz every week, you drop maybe 1 or 2 quizzes, and then, you know, they'll drop 1 or 2 quiz grades at the end, depending on your teacher. But that's your grade. So not only are you working, you're studying for quizzes. I mean, this Med-Surg Advanced class, we had to study on top of, like, every day you're studying, you know. Yeah, I took a couple days off to kind of just get my breath, but you had to study on top of working. And so preceptor warning, make sure you have a good preceptor. I'm trying to stay on track, y'all. Y'all know I ramble. Make sure you have a good preceptor. Be proactive. So my clinical placement, at first I was in critical care ICU. I just knew I was gonna love that, whoop whoop. However, didn't work out, so I got moved to a Med-Surg floor. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, it was just a regular Med-Surg floor, just like when I was in Mississippi. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. But you work. This floor, I mean, you can't hide from the work because it was so much work. It was just so much work. But I personally enjoy it because it makes the time go by fast. Help out, be proactive, help out the nursing techs, because I'm a nursing tech. Like in the military, I'm basically a nursing tech. So I think one of the hardest things for me with clinical was basically trying to help my nursing techs and learn nursing school and try to be just a team player. But I felt like I was getting kind of like, whew, like this is a lot, you know, because yeah, you need to help, but you're gonna learn that you have to delegate. I personally don't like delegation. That's something that you're gonna learn in your leadership and management class, like how to be, not only are you a nurse, but you're also like a supervisor, and you know, you have to delegate, which is a whole nother video. We can talk about that if you guys want to. But you know, if there's something like as far as I need a patient to be walked, but yet on this floor you have six patients with 1 nurse, 2 techs maybe, if that. So if I needed the patient to be walked, you know, my nurses that I was working with, they knew, you know, I was like, okay, I'll go walk this patient, but they're like, but we have meds to give, so why don't you call your nurse tech? And I'm like, I don't want to call my nurse tech because I don't want to be that person like, hey, can you walk Mr. blah blah blah? And I'm like, and I can just do it, but that was, I think, one of the hardest parts for me is just like learning how to delegate, because we all have jobs and I have to just remember like, okay, you were a nurse tech and you will always be a nurse tech, but right now you're the nurse and everybody has different jobs. Like, yes, I can walk a patient and a nurse tech can walk a patient, but a nurse tech can't give this medication. As a nurse, you have to give it. So which one comes first? Which one is the priority? You're gonna learn how to prioritize and all that stuff. Like I said, that's a whole nother video. Don't want to ramble about management and leadership, because that's very important. So I may make a video about that. But be proactive, help out everybody, but just make sure you are focusing on like learning how to be the nurse. And I think for me, that was like the biggest struggle for my clinical placement, was trying to learn how to be the nurse and not the tech and physical therapy, whoever. I just want to just do everything for my patient, and I think that's going to be one of the hardest parts about me being the nurse now and not the 4-0, the med tech, the nurse tech. So like I was saying, for your clinical placement, just make sure that you get some place where you can see yourself working. For example, if I can see myself working in ICU, I want to work in, like, do my placement in ICU. Or if I know that I'm going to med surg, which I am, you know, I was actually content with, you know, having a med surg clinical. So it all kind of worked out. So that was nursing school. NCLEX. Okay, so I'm going to do a completely whole different video on NCLEX because I don't want this one to run too far over. But just know I passed. I use Hearst and I use UWorld. But like I said, I will make another video on another day for that. Yeah, NCLEX was a beast. It was definitely a beast, but I will definitely talk more about that once have another video. Now, for my military people out there, my new duty station would be Langley Air Force Base, woo woo, and I will be a med surg nurse there. So that would be awesome, because you guys know that I was a med surg technician at Keesler. So now I'll be at Langley in Virginia as a nurse in med surg. So I'm actually pretty excited to do that. Yeah, so duty station, next step after this. So after you graduate, as far as NECP, after you graduate, just to give everybody a rundown, NECP is a Nurse Enlisted Commissioning Program. It was a program that if you guys go back in my videos, you'll see that, you know, active duty get a chance to go to school for 2 years and still remain active duty, but get to complete a nursing degree and then come back as a direct commission as a nurse. So you graduate, you're not quite done. After you finish, you know, after you complete your degree, you do have to take the NCLEX. The NCLEX is like, okay, she's certified as a nurse, the Air Force, okay, we're good. Well, after you take your NCLEX, then you have to do a commissioning PT test. My PT test is next week. So I'll be doing that, and then after that I'll be having my pinning ceremony, so I will be getting my bars. Woo, woo, woo. You guys started with me when I had my 2 stripes, and then I went up to 3, then 4, and now I get my bars, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll be having my pinning ceremony within the next week or so, and then in August I'll be going off to COT, and just like you guys know, you know, with my videos with tech school for medtech, I will be giving you guys my experience of COD, and then be going to my NTP, which I compare, to me, I think NTP is like tech school phase 2 for all my med techs out there. So you go to COT, then you go to NTP. NTP is called the Nurse Transition Program, and that's 11 weeks. I got San Antonio, so I'm so excited about that because I get to see some of my old friends, and I love Texas. So I'll be back in San Antonio, so it's gonna be kind of like pretty cool to see like a whole, you know, 360 with the Texas as a med tech, and now I'm going back as a nurse. So it's gonna be pretty awesome to see that, to be back, you know, a few years later as a nurse. And then yeah, after that I'll be in Virginia, and you know, I'll be trying to make this YouTube page a little bit more. I'll be trying to do this more now since I'm not in nursing school anymore, you guys. I actually have time to do this. I'm trying to get better with my editing and coming on here more often and telling you guys what I'm experiencing, so I can try to help as many people as I can. Thank you again for watching. I know you guys see my vacay nails. Your girl, after I graduated, your girl went to Mexico. So it's just nothing but PT test, visiting family and friends, and then off to COD I go, which will be in Alabama. So yeah, I will try to keep you guys updated. Like I said, my next couple videos, I do want to talk, my next video, I want to talk about the NCLEX, and I want to talk about, you know, just giving more insight on the NECP, because I've been meeting a lot of people and I've been having people write me and just, you know, asking for help or advice. And I always, you know, I'm not trying to be snooty like, oh, check out my YouTube, but everything that I think I give more information on my YouTube than I do face to face, because I want to give everybody everything that's up here. But I don't remember, I may not remember everything, I may not hit all the notes. So if you guys know anybody that's in the military, that don't know if they want to go to the military, that has a degree and, you know, didn't commission but want to enlist or want to be a nurse, just tell them to check out my page. You know, all I want to do is help people. But yeah, I'll try my best, you guys, to be back. Hopefully I can go ahead and like upload this video very soon. Working on trying to work this new camera and editing system and all that stuff, but I got y'all. All right, y'all, take care.